You finally got the quiet life you wanted, and somehow you feel smaller inside it. The dangerous thing about comfort is that it often disguises itself as peace while quietly dulling the sharp parts of you. You think you're resting, but what if you're actually rusting? Because the longer you stay comfortable, the harder it becomes to remember who you were before the cage felt like home. Yeah, me too. For longer than I'd like to admit. I spent years treating comfort like proof I'd made it. If life felt easy, I assumed I was doing something right. I built routines that asked nothing from me. Same foods, same habits, same conversations, same excuses with slightly different hairstyles. And honestly, it looked fine from the outside. I wasn't falling apart in any obvious way. I was just slowly shrinking in ways nobody could screenshot. I stopped taking risks, stopped learning things that made me feel stupid, stopped saying yes to opportunities unless I already knew I'd be good at them, which conveniently removed all opportunities for growth. Very efficient, very safe, very spiritually dehydrated. The weird part is, I didn't even notice it happening. Comfort is sneaky like that. It doesn't kick the door down, it hands you a blanket. Over time, I became someone who avoided friction at all costs. If something felt difficult, awkward, uncertain, I took that feeling as a warning sign. So I escaped into easy dopamine, my phone, entertainment, endless planning instead of action. I called it taking a break even though I hadn't done anything worth recovering from. And the cost wasn't loud, it was subtle. My confidence got thinner. My attention span got weaker. I stopped trusting myself to handle hard things because I rarely practiced handling hard things. Then, one day, I caught myself feeling anxious about something I would have handled easily a few years earlier. That scared me. Not because life got harder, because I had gotten softer. And that's when I realized this whole thing isn't really about discipline, it's about comfort. More specifically, the danger of mistaking comfort for progress. Most people hear that and think you should constantly suffer or hustle until your soul leaves your body. No, that's not the point. Misery doesn't automatically make you grow, but permanent comfort almost guarantees you won't. Comfort isn't a destination, it's a signal. It means you've adapted to your current level. And once you've adapted, staying there too long starts turning strength into weakness. That's the part nobody tells you. Your mind and body don't reward unused capacity, they remove it. And once you understand what your brain is actually trying to do, your whole relationship with discomfort starts to change. Here's what's happening underneath all of this. Your brain is wired to conserve energy. For most of human history, that kept people alive. Rest when you can. Avoid unnecessary risk. Don't waste resources climbing imaginary mountains for personal growth and a motivational quote. The problem is, your brain still thinks temporary comfort equals safety. Psychologists call part of this the arrival fallacy. It's the belief that once you reach a certain goal, you'll finally feel complete. The promotion, the relationship, the money, the easier season of life. But researcher Tal Ben-Shahar found that people adapt incredibly quickly to achievement. The satisfaction fades, and without continued challenge or meaning, stagnation creeps in behind it. Your brain also follows a use it or lose it system. The body weakens without resistance, muscles shrink, bone density drops, even astronauts lose strength in zero gravity because the body stops receiving the signal that strength is necessary. Your mind works the same way. Neural pathways that aren't used get pruned away. Skills dull, curiosity weakens. The brain interprets comfort as a reason to downsize. Which means the issue isn't that you're lazy or broken. You're responding normally to an environment designed to keep you comfortable every second of the day. And if you don't deliberately challenge yourself, your world slowly becomes smaller without you noticing. Now, before your brain turns this into, okay, cool, so I need to become a productivity robot who drinks sadness for breakfast, relax. That's not the answer. The goal isn't to suffer constantly. The goal is to stop treating discomfort like an emergency. Big difference. Growth usually feels awkward before it feels empowering. That's why most people quit too early. They think discomfort means they're failing, when most of the time it means they're finally doing something that stretches them. So start smaller than your ego wants to. Take the walk. Have the uncomfortable conversation. Learn the skill you're embarrassed to be bad at. Go 5 minutes without reaching for your phone every time silence shows up like an unpaid bill collector. Real growth isn't cinematic. It's tiny moments where you choose expansion instead of escape, and those choices compound faster than people realize. The first shift is this: treat discomfort like direction. Most people avoid discomfort automatically. If something feels uncertain, they assume it's wrong. But discomfort is often just evidence that you're at the edge of your current capability. That's where growth lives. Sports science calls this the overload principle. Muscles only grow when stressed beyond their normal capacity. Your confidence works the same way. If you only do things you're already comfortable doing, your world never expands. A small action? Do one thing today that makes you feel slightly incompetent. Not overwhelmed, just stretched. Send the message. Ask the question. Start the thing before you feel ready. The second shift is learning to build systems instead of relying on feelings. Motivation is unreliable. It changes with sleep, mood, weather, and whether somebody ignored your text for 6 hours. Systems don't care. Researchers studying elite performance consistently find that high performers reduce dependence on willpower. They create environments that make growth easier and comfort slightly harder. That's huge, because your environment is always voting for who you become. If distraction is easy and growth is inconvenient, guess which one wins at 11:47 p.m. when your brain feels like mashed potatoes? So change the architecture. Put the book where the phone usually goes. Lay out the gym clothes beforehand. Remove one escape route between you and the habit that's quietly eating your life. Tiny friction changes behavior more than giant speeches ever will. The third shift is probably the hardest. Become willing to be seen as a beginner again. A lot of people stay comfortable because competence became their identity. They'd rather look capable than grow. But every new level of your life requires being bad at something first. David Bowie reinvented himself constantly because he refused to let success fossilize him. Every time people got comfortable with who he was, he changed. That's courage, not certainty, not perfection. The willingness to enter unfamiliar territory without needing to protect your ego every second. So try something where you have no advantage. Let yourself look inexperienced. Let yourself learn publicly, because beginners grow faster than experts pretending they've already arrived. At the end of the day, comfort isn't dangerous because it feels bad. It's dangerous because it feels good. That's why people stay there too long. But the strongest people I've met aren't fearless. They're just no longer shocked by discomfort. They expect it. They understand that growth has friction built into it. And over time, their comfort zone expands. They handle conversations that used to terrify them, responsibilities that once overwhelmed them, challenges that would have crushed an earlier version of themselves. Quietly, gradually, naturally. That's the real goal. Not a perfect life without tension. A life where hard things stop feeling impossible because you've trained yourself not to run the moment things get uncomfortable. Comfort should be a place you visit, not a place you disappear into. If you're ready to stop surviving on motivation and start building real inner strength, subscribe and join the journey. New videos every week.